Hey traders, Akil Stokes here, and welcome back to another episode of the Trading Coach podcast. For you guys that are brand new, I'm a former struggling trader turned consistently profitable trader turned money manager, and now I am a trading coach who helps others do the same. In today's episode, I'm going to share with you a powerful accountability session with one of our clients where he explains why he's using trading to escape the family business, how he's developed a structured study plan to find success by next year, and why the biggest motivation to him isn't money, yet freedom of time.
Jerome, tell us a bit about who you are and where you're from and what you're up to before trading.
So my name is Jerome. I'm 25. I live in Australia, in Sydney, and basically been working since I was like 6 years old when my parents decided to quit their jobs and start a business. I've been working in the family business since then.
6 years old.
Yep.
Wow.
been a blessing and a curse.
child labor. I'm all for it.
Yep. And so pretty much kind of grew up on the mentality of trading time for money. I watched my parents go through the, ups and downs in the family business and, working very long hours and days for, they successful company, but it's definitely had its moments. They've lost a lot of stuff and just going through all that, growing up and all that. So basically, I am now like materialistically, I grew up on it. Like I still kind of like the last 2-3 years, I've kind of driven away from materialistic stuff and just kind of focused more on what's more meaningful to myself.
Yep.
So my dad's he's recently gotten into probably the last 10 years a lot of law of attraction and what you put out you attract. But I don't think he kind of understands that you kind of still need to put in like a lot of action and have a plan.
You can't just sit there hoping for money to fall out the sky.
Exactly. 100%. Yes. So I've kind of taken this whole trading thing as my little opportunity to project myself into the future and kind of, make something and try and leave the family business as it is, like especially with my wife also working at the company as well. It does get a little bit too much. So it'd be nice if we could eventually skip ways. But just growing up, my dad encouraged me to buy things. He's never really, he's always encouraged, like when I was 18, I ended up buying a $45,000 car. And at the time, I thought it was, it was great. I was like, I thought I was cool. But, recently I've just sold that car about 3 years ago, sold it for 12,000 and I was kind of gutted.
That
I've lost all this money on it. And I said I'm going to buy a brand new car again. And about a month later, I ended up buying another $35,000 car and that's the way it sold. So, and then one of the probably better things we did is my wife and I, we purchased a house when I was about 4 years ago, 4 or 5 years ago when I was 21 years old. And obviously back then, the Sydney housing market, we were trying to save a deposit and pretty much every month, we were just always buying. Eventually, we just kind of come across this opportunity and kind of took it. So we ended up having an investment property for about 2.5 years, and eventually got married, and we've just moved into it. And the expenses, from what reality is, it's manageable. But when I'm definitely looking at to replace a complete income, it does seem it's not impossible, but we are working on trying to lower the income, like the expenses and stuff. So yeah. So now
Okay.
I've found trading, and I've just kind of sat down and we've developed this 5-year plan to kind of eventually escape the family business a little bit, and yeah, kind of go on
Okay.
our own way.
So how did you get what caught your interest in this? How did you even come about the financial
It,
markets?
well, funny enough, it was more wasn't so much the money part of it. It was more the freedom. I noticed you guys like T1, and especially you going on about like it. It was like the materialistic stuff. Like when we got back from our honeymoon and stuff, like I kind of went into like a phase where we moved into the house. You know, we had the wedding and everything, and like I just kind of felt empty. Like ever since then, we haven't really brought many materialistic things because it doesn't really make us. We notice that it doesn't make you happy. Like it's not having money is not going to like
No.
change much, you know. So we kind of noticed that, and then we started digging down and then finding out what's kind of like holding us down and making us feel, kind of the way we are. And it's just, we did discover that the environment at my parents' company, it's a little bit like it's toxic and like negative at sometimes. And especially being around family and stuff, it can get a little bit too much. And it's just trying to break from a family company, it's a lot of emotions involved. So it's one of those things that are very hard for me and my wife to do because my brother and his wife also work there, and my mom and dad, and it's just like it's good. I mean, it is a blessing. I do see the positives in it a lot now, but trying to break free from it, it's just one of those connections that we feel that we lose a lot of our freedom to. And that's one of the main things that, my wife wants to go on and, follow her passions and stuff. And because of the like situation we're in, she can't really go off and do that. So if I can start making a bit of income, maybe we can drop our hours, our days, one to like drop one day a week, and then she can go do, start following her things and all that. So yeah.
Excellent. So you said you found tier one and I opened your eyes, but what was prior to that? Is that the first? Why did you get into it? Where was the curiosity? How did
Well,
you find out about trading? Did you
the
always?
curiosity was funny enough. I've always been a computer person, and I've always said to myself, ever since I was young, that it would be really cool to be able to make money from a computer. And originally I actually started looking up like into stocks and like investing into stock market and everything. And then this was about October, November last year, and I actually ended up purchasing my first stock on the Australian share market. And I just did a lot of research on YouTube and stuff on all that, and then making money, and then with dividends and stuff, as like you can make income off dividends, but the amount of money you have to lay up front to actually see a return was quite a fair bit. And then I eventually came across Akil and you, Jason, on Forex and stuff, and then
Yep.
it totally grabbed my interest. So, and then I found out that it's all about like you can actually make money from a computer, and I'm like, oh my god, this is something that I've always kind of dreamed and talked about doing. And so yeah, that's just ever since I just kind of got on to the course and started looking at it and the charts and everything, it's pretty much captivated me. Ever since this started this year, I've been doing about 45 hours a week after work. So doing about roughly 5 hours on Monday to Friday, and now 10 hours on a Saturday and 10 hours on a Sunday. Just trying to. I did rush through it. I will be honest. But now I've come right back down to like the start of the course again, and I'm just kind of reviewing everything and making sure like knowing and understanding is two like totally different things. So I'm just making sure I can understand everything now
Yeah.
before I proceed.
Okay. So what? How did you know you was rushing then?
Pretty much, I was back testing within probably about a month and a bit, and then as I was back testing, like I knew like what to do with the strategy, but I didn't understand it. And then obviously because I was stopping and pausing and then going back and reviewing the videos, and it was just like, hey, like I didn't feel confident enough that I was like knowing what to do and understanding the principles of price action. So then I ended up going back and I was like, there's a lot of moments in the videos and the course. I was like, okay. So I ended up just scrapping everything, putting in a structured study plan and putting in some deadlines and goals on how to kind of go about it.
Okay. So did you go right the way back, or did you know where you needed to pick up from, or?
Yeah, I kind the basics of everything I kind of understood price action and patterns and all that. So once I've reviewed all that the past since the start of Feb, and it's all kind of like coming together again and making sense. Like all the pieces are kind of slowly going together, and so yeah.
Okay. So is there anything you were struggling with?
Um, there was originally, it was a lot of trend lines and stuff, but funny enough, as I was going through the price action course, I come across the um, what was it? The I can't remember one of the. I'm just gonna have a look. But it was one of the price actions, and it kind of all just kind of made sense with trends and stuff. How it was confusing at first, but it all kind of made sense at the end.
Yeah. Okay. So what have you been working on? What are you actually working on right now then?
Right now, I've put in a plan to basically for the rest of February and up to May, so about 4 months. I want to go back and just go through all the patterns, training my RAS, and building my trading knowledge on price actions, candle formations, and patterns. So I'm going to do that up until May until I feel very confident about it, and then I'll proceed back testing in June.
Okay, so June back
June
testing.
to September, I want to do my back testing, and then to give me about 4 months in back testing, and then October to December, start forward testing everything, and then hopefully go live by next year. So I've
Okay,
given myself a good year to
good,
kind of really get comfortable with it. Yeah.
good. That's really good. Not many people give themselves that long, and they end up just giving up. So that's
Yeah.
very
Well,
realistic.
I kind of thought like I was rushing it. I was originally wanted to go live, around end of this month, May, because when I started back testing mid-January, and then it was crazy. It's just so much things that like I kind of know what I'm doing, but without understanding it, I just felt like it was pointless. So yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So in June, then, would you be able to come back on and tell us sort of where you're up to?
Oh yes, for
Yeah.
sure. I would love that. Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be good, because what we're going to do now is obviously hold you accountable to do what you've said you're going to do.
Yeah.
I know that's harsh, but that's the point of these sessions. It's only to
No,
help
exactly.
you. Yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
So okay, so if you book back on June time, I look forward to speaking with you then. Is there anything that you've learned that's sort of much easier now that you didn't even know or you found hard at the beginning?
Um, it's a good question actually. I believe there is. A lot of it was just mainly how price moves, like to be honest, like
Yep.
with the flag patterns, and then the candlesticks and like how they kind of work
Yep.
and how Akil kind of explains them with the stories behind them. And so going back and really kind of identifying each candlestick pattern and then kind of following the market, how it kind of reacts, it's kind of been like a really good eye opener for me. Just kind of looking at the charts instead of just seeing all these candles going up and down, like kind of knowing why they're doing that makes a
Yeah.
massive difference.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah.
Excellent. Okay. And how did you get that skill, or how did that get embedded? Was that from the foundation course?
Yes. So yeah, exactly.
Excellent. All right. Well, thanks for coming on. I look forward to tracking your progress and seeing how you get on, particularly in June. Yeah. So, anything else you want to say, Jerome?
No, just really glad I found T1 and didn't venture off onto some of the other courses out there that, just since I've kind of surrounded my socials with Forex and everything, there is actually a lot of crap out there, to be honest.
Just a
And
little bit.
just going through it all. Yeah, it's actually crazy. Like, I'm kind of thankful that kind of T1 just kind of popped up as I was kind of just getting into this opportunity for me. So yeah,
Excellent. Well, we're
great.
very glad you're here, and I think you'll agree that the community is amazing. So
100%. It's probably the best part.
excellent. All right, mate. Well, have a great weekend. Thanks for coming on again, and I'll talk to you inside the platform.
No worries.